Alright. Without further ado, here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, playing as the green Terran player, is WTFamIdoing. Platinum Heroes. And in the top right, in the red, playing as Terran as well, his partner, or teammate, having to do a team kill here, it is GamePants. Alrighty, so good series all around here. It's gonna be interesting to see how these players do want to play it out. Pretty standard stuff is doing like 3 Hellions, 3 Reapers kind of style. I would love to see, you know, with them being a little bit lower leagues, we do see a little bit unconventional builds. Would like to see how they end up playing it. Are they going to go mass marine? Will they try to rush battle cruisers? What will end up happening? Alright, so far, WTFamIdoing is going to just do the barracks first. Both players already have their gas. Looks like GamePants has a second gas already, so we'll go into a more tech-heavier path. We'll definitely be going into an expansion behind this, but more than likely, probably just going to be some kind of one-base play. WTFamIdoing is going to come into the base. We'll scout out. Okay, get double gas. And if he is knowledgeable, we'll know that opportunity there. And GamePants behind this is getting a Reaper. And gonna be a quick expansion from WTFamIdoing. They're having to send an SCV from the main just to try to stop this from not being stopped. And we'll be able to actually get that. Good place. Reaper just going to go ahead and sit at home for the time being, not going to go across the map. Both players are going to go into a factory behind this, and factory is done for GamePants. He's already going to be able to get the Hellions and all of that, so it should be more than okay. The first Reaper here for GamePants. Going to go across the map, trying to put some pressure on. But some good damage. Reapers will go ahead and heal up as well, and second Reaper gonna make it across the map. Hellion gonna join suit. What does WTFamIdoing actually have? He's got a Reaper, 2 Reapers. That's about it. Definitely this can take care of what WTFamIdoing's doing. And it's kind of a good way to actually punish a player that goes into these quick expansions in TvT. Like it. Reapers are going to go ahead and eliminate quite a bit of these SCVs behind this. The Tech Lab just now done with a Cyclone on the way for the green Terran. A couple of SCVs are getting pulled to try to help, you know, fixate this, essentially. Keep GamePants from getting out, kind of stall as much as possible until the Cyclone comes out. These Reapers are going to go straight into the main now. Going to start working on the SCVs. SCVs are going to get pulled to try to deal with this. One of the Hellions will fall here shortly. Not careful, and Cyclone out. Should be able to shut this down for the most part. But it looks like the Reaper's trying to fancy their way a little bit. Eventually back up here, and behind this we do have that expansion coming up for GamePants. He's already got the starport coming as well. He is supply blocked, just now getting on supply blocked. He does have that Liberator as well, so we'll be able to at least send that across, potentially get a couple more kills. A lot of these SCVs though are not mining. He's got 20 or 15 altogether, but only about 10 of them are actually mining. And here we go again. Reapers and the Hellions gonna go and kill off a couple of more. We'll have to back up once again. The tank's coming across, and it looks like GamePants just wants to continue on this pressure as he gets more expansions coming through, doing everything that he can behind this. Go. Tank is going to go ahead and siege up. There is a tank here for WTFamIdoing, so that we'll be able to kind of shut this down for the most part. need to get like a Raven or something. But, oh, the siege tank here for GamePants actually going to be able to take that out. Kind of a misplay there from WTFamIdoing. He had the advantage there for the moment. And not going to be able to now. Once again, the CC going to have to lift it up. And you know what does he really have in here? He does have another tank coming. He's got a Cyclone, and that's about it at this point. GamePants putting on a clinic right now. And go ahead and throw down some extra barracks. He's got +1 on the way. He's also got a missile turret just in case there is some kind of Liberator or Banshee play or anything like that. Tank on the high ground. We'll be able to shut this down for the most part until we can get a medevac or something to deal with it. And you know what? He's having to just make SCVs in the main and throw down a couple extra barracks with this, but he just does not have the income for these extra barracks, for the extra supply. And here comes that Liberator. Gonna be able to start taking out quite a bit of units here. Actually gets 3. We'll move and go around. Thankfully, he does have a Cyclone here, and WTFamIdoing gonna be able to shut it down without losing too much, but he is still losing a lot of mining time. GamePants still has it locked here on the natural as well. And yeah, I mean, just looking very, very solid so far. He's already got more tanks coming through. He's going into double Marauder production. Or no, excuse me. He's going into Marine production, but he does have the 2 tech labs, so he can go into another kind of play if needed. Nice scan will reveal that there are a couple of tanks in the main. See that Liberator finally move out. The tanks getting moved out as well, making sure he doesn't lose too many units to this. Stim on the way, as well as that combat shields. And you know what is WTF? Not have any upgrades yet. Doesn't have anything on the way just yet. Those barracks just now finishing up, and he will go ahead and throw down a tech lab. And behind this, another tech lab. So both players going into tech labs. Very interesting. Third base on the way for GamePants as well, and you know, he's just got so many tanks. He's got Marines, he's got the Vikings. He really has basically everything he needs at this point. He's even got his +1 almost finished completely. Doing a good job not actually getting supply blocked. Meanwhile, WTFamIdoing is supply blocked. Doesn't have any upgrades just yet. Just now starting up Stim. And you know what? He's finally getting a siege tank count up. But he is still just a little bit behind. Fortunately, a lot of that has to do with just the fact of that pressure early on. Alrighty. So, third base is now done here for GamePants. WTFamIdoing still just kind of sitting back. He hasn't been able to get any damage done. We see the Reaper here seeing, you know, does he take a third base? Does he just stay on 2? Does he? I wish it would show. Oh, there it is. Like he is going to go ahead and scan the natural. Seeing, is this army out here? What is he doing? Throwing down quite a bit of barracks as well as an additional factory. But fortunately, GamePants just has so much right now. He's gonna go ahead and move across. He has to be careful, especially in TvT. You know, he could lose this entire advantage pretty quickly. Thankfully, basically WTF's whole setup is not siege tanks. I mean, not set up as far as they're not sieged. If he were to stem on top of this, he would have a pretty good shot of actually doing something, but it looks like he is gonna actually move these up and then decide to kind of siege them up potentially. We will see. Here comes the Marines kind of come in, shutting things down, getting right on top of these siege tanks. The siege tanks in the back can be able to shut those down as well. There's still some Marines left over here. Automatically that CC will lift up. All the Marines, all the SCVs are starting to fall. In the base, there's nothing but a couple of building barracks. And it looks like WTFamIdoing is in a lot of trouble. As the tanks start leapfrogging forward here, trying to put on some additional pressure. Looks like trying to go home and get more income coming through. And yeah, GamePants looking very strong right now. Trying to pull the SCVs to deal with this, as well as a bunch of those reactor barracks finally coming through. But he just does not have the income to be able to build anything else at this moment. He's literally sitting at like 50 minerals. And here comes the last ditch effort here from WTFamIdoing. Those SCVs getting demolished. And GG will be called as GamePants takes game number 1 here. So let's go ahead. See who's up. Right. Go in. Let me. Bada boom. No. Bada boom. Ah. Doesn't matter, does it? Does it really even matter? It does. In the top left, bottom right, in the middle, somewhere here on the map in the green, it is the Terran player. WTFamIdoing? And in the top left, in the red, playing as Terran as well. Currently up 1-0. Give it up. It is GamePants. No. Alrighty, so what will we see these two players doing? Obviously, you know, last time we saw GamePants going into the double gas style build. Looks like this time he is going to go only into one racks, one gas, potentially expand behind this. It looks like WTFamIdoing is doing the same thing here, so both players are going to go for that expansion. GamePants is, you know, putting on the aggression already here to this SCV, delaying that expansion just ever so slightly. Going to give him a little bit of an advantage as far as economics go. Both players do have the Reapers finally out. Looks like GamePants will go across the map and continue to put on the pressure and see if he can somehow manage to overcome all of the goodness. I'm sorry. It took you 30 seconds. I guess it's computer dependent. But still, it's faster than getting a car loan. Oh, man. That's good stuff. So far, it looks like, you know what? Kind of unfortunate for GamePants losing that early Reaper. We'll kind of open them up a little bit to some aggression, but WTFamIdoing, playing it safe, just staying at home for the time being. Factory gonna go straight into a tech lab with the starport option available. I would be interested in seeing, does one of them go into like a Banshee or something like that? If not, you know, do they just kind of go into the tank marine style that we've been seeing? Should be interesting. Only gonna have marines and tanks coming out here. GamePants gonna go into the starport. You know what? Is a little bit behind from what WTFamIdoing is up to. Even gonna get a scout off and see, okay, you're doing 1-1-1. Going into a tech club behind this. Throwing down a third base. What are we watching here? WTF is he doing? As he is going to go into a third base. That's going to be really nice. Allow him to get some economy going. Actually getting quite a bit of damage done so far with these two Reapers. The tank out should shut this down for the most part, but very nice so far from WTFamIdoing. GamePants having to play a little bit defensive here. He has to be careful though, because of that tank. Just eliminate all of his efforts here. Maybe get one more. No. He's going to get trapped, fortunately, and those Marines just going to say, see ya, sucker. Take him out. We do have that starport coming out for WTFamIdoing with that Raven being built And you know what? I like it. Especially if on a map like this where you have that high ground that just covers the ramp, plus you have all of this, and potentially over here as well. Having that Raven's going to be so crucial, shutting down this top tank and any other potential tank that may try to come in here. So, very nice. Just going with the one Raven. I would prefer two, but you know, one's fine. Third CC going to go ahead and start producing some SCVs before it even switches over. And with the additional barracks, going to allow him to get those upgrades. More Marines. Alright. Reactor on the starport. Going to provide a little bit more utilization. We've seen GamePants before go into the Vikings. Does he stay with that, or does he try to go into medevacs to do some drop plays? If you look here at the back, just open field. We do see already, though, that Cyclone is there and prepared. But if he can somehow catch that off guard and get on top of that with, say, Stim, what does he really have back here? All of his units are up here in the front. They're going to have to unsiege and move back. This is going to be a tough time here for WTFamIdoing if that happens. Going into double engineering bay to get those upgrades pumping. Be pretty good, as well as he can throw down a couple of missile turrets for just an occasion. Third base going to come through here for GamePants as well, and you know what? I like it. So, should be good. I do like this, though, GamePants throwing out the Marines, just kind of making sure, you know, if there is anything coming across or a third base being put down somewhere, he's able to see it, and it looks like he is going to send across the medevac full of Marines. Stim almost done, about halfway done here for the Red Terror player. By the time it gets across the map, should be completed, and we'll be able to at least put a little bit of pressure back here. The thing is still, even though he has those upgrades coming on WTFamIdoing side, all of his units are basically on the third base. They're going to have a long travel time to get up here. The only thing he really has to worry about is the Cyclone. Looks like finally he is going to throw down some missile turrets, but will he have enough time with this? The medevac's going to come in here before those turrets do get done. Automatically going to stop down the Cyclone, focusing down the medevac, but here come the Marines. Stim almost finished up here, takes down the Cyclone. There's nothing here to defend. The turret isn't completed as well. Focusing down on whatever he can here. Probably should get the upgrades if possible, but now the Marines coming here for WTFamIdoing. Gonna be able to shut this down, and you know what? 8 kills, not terrible, but is it very good here? Even getting the Cyclone, you know what? Not too bad. I don't complain. There's still one Marine, finally. The lone survivor able to finally get out of there, and now the third base landing for GamePants behind this, adding on additional barracks. He's got +1, +2 on the way here. He's also got, you know, a really good setup with all of these supply depots. Just looking really good. And now it looks like GamePants might want to push across the map. He's in a pretty good spot with tanks, leading 6-3 tank-wise. Could potentially just shut down this third base. I think a tank could probably fit right here, maybe right here, and just demolish what this line has. But for the most part, looks like GamePants is just gonna send out some Marines, see, you know, where everything is at. Sees that there are additional barracks and stuff being added on. Actually, gonna come in here, sees that there is at least a little bit of defense coming out right there. And yeah, I mean, I could see them both going into a little bit more bases, kind of trading this out as best as possible, but who will attack first? That Raven at full energy at this point could shut down quite a few tanks if needed. Doesn't look like GamePants is ready to push across yet. He's getting +2. He's got +1 coming through on his armory, getting additional barracks, and just really trying to tack up to get this army going as well. So that way, if he needs to resupply, he has that available. His macro just on point at this point. So both players getting +2 at this point. You And yeah, I mean, both of them just macroing up as much as possible. Fortunately, WTFamIdoing is a little bit dry on his mineral income, so he hasn't been able to just continue his cycles like he wants to. He's only able to make like one at a time at this point. He can make more. But it looks like he's only making like one at a time. He is kind of supply block too. Gonna have a nice little engagement here. The tanks on the high ground here for GamePants. Gonna be able to just eliminate a lot of this army. And you know, WTFamIdoing having to fall back. This could be the opportunity that GamePants needs as he does start to potentially push himself across the map, trying to find the best path. So he could just go down here, if we're honest, and go straight here, just bypass the tanks altogether, but looks like he will go ahead and push and pressure onto this third base. Does he go into the main though? Yeah, I wouldn't. There's too many turrets. Too many turrets. To the main bay. I don't know. I give up. But here we go with the Marines. Tanks sieging up here, and these Marines with +2 just starting to chew through everything. Some good focus fire onto the tanks. And yeah, GamePants just shutting down this third base. What WTFamIdoing in a lot of trouble. The tank in the background should be able to shut down the Marines for the most part here. Does he continue to leapfrog these tanks forward? I don't think so. Third base was trying to land, or fourth base over here at the bottom, but it looks like GamePants has been able to push it back for the time being. We'll go ahead and go to the middle, regroup with the rest of his army, and continue to pressure on this. There's only a couple of tanks here, and they only have +1. +3 is on the way here for GamePants as well. Yeah, they're pretty even in upgrades at this point. WTFamIdoing does have concussive shells, but he has no marauders with this army. It's all Marines, so it doesn't really come into use at this point. Making 12 Marines at a time is what GamePants is doing. Almost actually full as well. You could throw down another expansion if you wanted, but being on 4 bases against this isn't terrible. Ooh. Oh, no, don't do it. Yeah, that could be okay. Alright, so these tanks are going to siege up here onto the low ground. Going to start pressuring onto this third once again. These tanks going to come into range and could potentially kill themselves. Doesn't have enough Marines though to engage this. That's the big problem that we have here. Is he just... How many Marines are there? There's 32 Marines to 70, but only like 20 or 10 of them are like actually right here. He has more army coming down to the bottom, but for the most part, it is going to be just these kind of small handfuls pulling it out of position to actually come down here. So, really smart play here from GamePants. Distract him while you can. There is a planetary fortress coming, but this is just way more than enough to defend this. At the same time, you know, how does he end up fighting this? Loses a lot of army over here. Those tanks still alive, however, but you know, they can't really defend down here yet as well, and these tanks should be able to kind of start pushing this back. Third base, or fourth base, excuse me, is done as well. This third base getting very low to dying as well, and yeah, it's just not looking good right now here for WTFamIdoing. The tanks have kind of repositioned themselves in between everything, and we will see the tanks getting picked up there, but this army is just so scary from GamePants. Here we go. Stim is going to come out here. The tank's going to siege up. A little bit of a bad position here for the Red Terran, as the concave just beautiful from WTFamIdoing, and what was almost a lost game here, it seems like he is going to be able to come back from this, or at least put himself in a better position. Additional CCs have been made here for GamePants. He is flooding pretty heavily as well, so we'll see what he does behind this. Looks like a counterattack is going to be imminent here. I just think there's too much for GamePants that this attack's not going to be good. Already tanks in position. We're going to see the Marines trying to split More tanks gonna siege up, and you know, gonna be basically at a standstill, moving out the CCs to get more income coming through, and yeah. Really can't go across too much. Kind of unfortunate there. Does still have more tanks, and I guess he could kind of position himself a little bit better. Repositioning the tanks for WTFamIdoing, gonna help him out, especially with this Viking up here. Giving him a little bit better vision, but still just barely out of range. Opening up this is gonna be nice as well. He's gonna be able to kind of crawl over here and just try to shut this location down automatically. I would like to see from WTFamIdoing, like, maybe some drops going on, like over here or something, or even just on some of these extra bases. But with him already having these planetary fortresses coming through, just not a good thing here for WTFamIdoing. Alrighty, there we go. We have a nice attack coming in here. The Marines just going to start chewing through these tanks. The tanks on the top just now sieging up. There's just too many Marines, too many tanks for this, and it looks like that is going to be that. The tanks here on the third are going to be alright, and we see, you know, planetary fortresses everywhere. At this point, you know, he has so much income, he doesn't have to worry too much about the extra scans or anything like that. Looks like he will go ahead and start pushing towards this third once again, eliminating that tank count. We literally see 10 tanks to 3, 39 to 54 Marines. So there's still a chance that he could get this turned back around. But if he can somehow get those tanks sieged up onto this and eliminate all of these threats, should be in a good position. Checking to see, is there a fourth base, is there a fifth base? And scanning, seeing, you know, where is everything at. Actually, not going to get seen there. That's actually funny. He does see that it is moving across now. Does he keep attacking this, though? Does he go around and potentially, like, attack from this angle? Because if he can get the high ground right here with the tanks, he could probably come in with the Marines here. We'll see how he plays this out. Ooh, and now with the sensor tower down, might make it a little bit harder here for the Terran to actually get on top of it, but he is fully maxed out at this point. Gonna start building up those resources more and more. He's got +3. I would like to see a little bit more upgrades coming through. He does have finally the fusion core coming through, as well as some additional, like, excuse me, ship upgrades. See if he can actually do that. It looks like the tank's gonna come down here in kind of a weird position. We'll be able to lock this part down, and it should be able to get into the main by this point. The Vikings gonna start attacking on whatever they can. The Marines have to be super careful in this point, just because those tanks do so much damage by themselves, even against these upgraded Marines. Marines gonna stem in here with those SCVs, but it looks like GamePants just has too much here. He's being very cautious. Lock down that natural, and with only being on 3 bases, maybe like that ninja base being okay as well. This is going to be very tough here. Can what WTFamIdoing make the comeback? He's very much kind of blocked in here at this point. He could potentially, I guess, maybe lock those down, but it's too much. Lifting up the natural, going to go into the main. Already having the SCVs pulled, the Marines coming to try to deal some kind of damage or try to shut this down somehow, but those SCVs getting trapped behind this. Not going to be able to get too much done. All of the SCVs do fall. 50 SCVs have fallen. More are going, and the scanning's going everywhere, seeing where everything is at. And this is just not looking good right now here for WTFamIdoing. Marine's going to be in the main, shutting down all of the production here from the Green Terran player. Does have this base hidden in the bottom, but will it even matter? It just max supply to almost barely 50. Just not looking good here. There is going to be that Liberator gets one shot off and is just losing. WTFamIdoing just not going to be able to make it through here. And the tank's trying to bait out some shots, but with the Vikings, they're shutting down the Liberators. Does eliminate a couple of tanks, but there's just too much supply here for the Red Terror player. And he's able to make 13 or more Marines at a time, so this is just looking really bad right now. floating up the buildings, trying to prolong this as long as he can. He does have that base up here at the top as well, but there's just too much here, unfortunately. 130 army supply to 100. WTF am I doing? Just trying to scrangle by an inch of his life, but just not gonna cut it. All of the barracks gonna start falling here. GG will be called, and we will see GamePants move on to the next round.